Hello guys, Chris here and welcome back to another video. First of all, Merry Christmas to everybody watching this video. Hope you have a wonderful time with your families. And second of all, today my friends, we're going to be testing the RX 580 8GB model in Forza Horizon 5. And of course, we're running the 580 with the latest AMD drivers, Adrenalin 2020-21.12.1. These are the clock speeds. This is the XFX GTS XXX version of the card. I will push the power limit to plus like 25%. I think that's enough to consistently achieve 1366 megahertz on the core clock. They actually have a piece of paper in the box telling you to do this in their software though. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Anyways, as usual, we're running it with a Ryzen 9 5900X and 32 gigabytes of RAM. And let's get right into it, shall we? And let's go through the settings now. We're playing at the 1080p resolution. We're also going to test this one at 1440p as well as 4K resolutions, starting off with the high settings preset. This is it. Okay, this is actually pretty good. Oh my gosh. Okay, this turns way too much. Let's start counting our FPS, and it seems like this is probably going to be a very good experience, always above 60 frames per second. What the hell? Was that a lace from a present or something? Yeah, what the heck? Where are these things coming from? That's a present right there. Can I open it? Can I smash it? Whoa, what the... This one is flying, kind of. Interesting. Okay, this is new. Alright, so we're actually gonna make our way to the big city of this map. I'm gonna go ahead and stop counting the FPS because we gotta go to the GPS here. Yeah, let's make our way there because our FPS tend to drop a lot in that area. And I went to see the worst case scenario here using the RX 580. So right now, things seem to be pretty damn smooth. 1% lows are good again, but they were a little bit rough when I started counting them because we saw a little spike there in the frame time graph. That will happen from time to time. I've noticed that with pretty much every GPU that I tested this game with so far, but it's very rare and it's not really game breaking in my opinion. As you can see right now, it's totally flawless. Oh, we're going really fast right now. Okay, we're good. We didn't hit those things right there. That's amazing. Actually, it's here. Oh, thank you so much. That guy saved our asses right there. Oh, that's beautiful. I wish he was always there so we didn't crash against that little house. That would be great. Anyways, it's the stadium area right here. Didn't the grass used to be green? I think so. What is this now? I didn't really play this game more after I tested the 3080 Ti on it, and I believe with that card, the grass was green. So if you have AMD cards, you're gonna play this with a little bit less color, I guess. I'm just kidding, obviously. That was an amazing jump, by the way. Alright, we're almost arriving. We got the Rocket League balls right here. See what I'm talking about, guys? Look at this. That's amazing, isn't it? Okay. Let's keep on going. So city area, FPS don't seem to be dropping all that much, to be honest. We're getting like, what, 10 less FPS or so. This is pretty damn good still. The 580 is a really good 1080p card here in Forza Horizon 5, it seems like. Also, the tunnels are super intensive in this game, especially when you go inside of this one in this direction. Right now, yeah, it drops into the 50s, but that's worst case scenario, basically. It's not gonna drop more than that anywhere in the map. So you can rest assured that this is gonna be a buttery smooth experience, like 98% of the time that you're playing this game. Seeing the city from above right here, dropping down to very close to 69, to be honest, guys. We sometimes touch 69 there, which is great. So that's how you know that 1080p high settings is the perfect settings/resolution for the RX 580 8GB. Also, if you have the 4GB model, you will probably see some warnings in the screen saying that you're running out of VRAM at times, but it shouldn't really be that big of a deal. And there we go, 2560 by 1440 and high settings preset. And we're starting off right here near the tunnel. That's perfect. Let's start counting the frames. This is very similar to what we got with the RX 570, I believe. Maybe I tested the 570 on medium, but I'm pretty sure it was getting really close FPS to these on high settings. Now, over here, yeah, it drops into the 40s, but is that a big deal? I really don't think so, guys. I think this is really smooth and playable still, and in Forza Horizon 5, Forza Horizon 4, basically in any racing game, in my opinion at least, it's not really mandatory for you to have 60 plus FPS all of the time. I myself would be fine with around 60 on average, which should be what we will get here at 1440p resolution high settings. So yeah, this is still a perfect experience for me. I would totally play like this. Oh, look at that, guys. Look at that, 69 on average. Oh yes, so this is the perfect resolution here in settings. After all, not 1080p high, 1440p high, never mind, 68 now, so now it's horrible. It's horrible. 60 somethings, it drops into the 50s at times at the 1440p resolution. Outside of this big city area, you're gonna see more FPS, of course. In races and everything around the map, you'll see like around these as well, and if you come across a race in the city, you're probably gonna see like 3 or 4 less FPS. It's not really that big of a deal. Here we go, 3840 by 2160 high. By the way, the MSAA anti-aliasing is not really that intensive in this game, so setting it to 2 times doesn't really change the FPS by much. You're probably gonna see like 2 or 3 more FPS if you disable it, so I think it's definitely worth it to leave it enabled. Now, on high settings, things don't really look that good up close. You can see that brick walls and stuff. It's just, yeah, meh. It's very meh. It doesn't have any depth to them. There is also very little ambient occlusion everywhere. If you are a visual fidelity kind of person and you're playing these games for the visual enjoyment, let's call it that, I think ultra settings the way to go, and you should avoid high settings. By the way, getting out of the tunnel, it doesn't drop from 30 frames per second, so if you want the 30 plus FPS experience all of the time, 4K is still possible with high settings. Oh my god, look at that CPU utilization, by the way. Oh, 3%. Are you serious? Oh my goodness, it's sleeping right now with an RX 580. Also, outside in the open areas, you get pretty decent frames, you know, up to 50. That's respectable for 4K resolution in an RX 580. VRAM usage is also pretty low, so the 8GB card will do high settings at 4K absolutely fine. 40s, 30s, it's not too bad. If you're playing with a controller on a TV or something, I would actually recommend this experience. It's okay. You know, again, if you are a competitive person for some reason in Forza Horizon 5, I actually talked about this before, and I haven't seen anybody in the comments saying that they are competitive players in Forza, so I'm not even sure if there is somebody out there playing on the low settings to get 144 frames per second, for example. But hey, if you are one of those people, this is obviously not for you, but if you just want to enjoy the game, 4K high settings is decent. Shut up. Let me talk. We're back to 1080p resolution, guys. Blah, 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 blah. Ultra settings. Here we go. And also, we're not going to test extreme settings in this video with an RX 580 because they are extremely intensive and they look very close to ultra settings as well. So I just think there's no point on you maxing out this game with a GPU like this, at least. Right, here we go, and we are already below 60 FPS, and this is 1080p resolution. So if you must get 60 plus, high settings is definitely the way to go. There are the presents again. Oh, this is nice, actually. Okay, little touches like that just give some character to the games. I like to see that. Out in the open, 60s, not too bad. I was honestly expecting to see a few less FPS here because there is a lot of ambient occlusion now. As you can see, it looks very different from high, and usually it tends to drop near vegetation, so it's good that the 580 is doing so well. Driving really fast now once again. Oh boy. Okay, can I beat my top speed? No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, we need to stop a little bit here. Good stuff. I haven't hit that house yet in this video. That's amazing. A little bit of a shortcut now. Whoa! Nice. That worked perfectly. Exactly how I was expecting it. Nice. And we got a little Rocket League ball. Actually, a lot of them. That was a nice kick there. Oh, it's disappearing now. I hate when this happens. I think all of the trees should be detachable from the ground. If you're driving really fast, they should just move away from you or something. I mean, we're in 2021, almost 2022. Trees have been in this world since forever, and they still haven't found a way to move. Like, it's important to move, trees. Come on, what are you doing with your lives? Producing oxygen for us? That sucks. I'm kidding. So, getting out of the tunnel, 30s, not bad. Basically, it will only drop from 40 frames per second in that little area, so this is okay. This is pretty decent. So let's go bump it up to 1440 now, using ultra settings. Oh, I hate them. Oh, so annoying at times. They just completely stop you, and this car is horrible at regaining the speed, at least in off-road, of course. VRAM usage, by the way, is almost at 6.5 gigabytes, so if you have a 6 gig card, like the GTX 1066 gig, you'll probably see around these FPS, but it will give you that warning sign very often, and it might have a couple of stutters here and there. This has been really smooth, actually. I've only seen a single stutter, or maybe two, when I started the game, and then it has been flat frame time graph ever since. That's awesome. Alright, anyways, tunnel at 1440p, 32, exactly the same as 4K high. This is impressive. But now, if I stop right here, you can see that there is some depth there. Tessellation, I guess. That's what tessellation does. Yeah, the brick walls look a little bit more realistic for sure. Looks great like this on ultra settings. And I think there's really no point in you playing on extreme settings. Again, with the RX 580. So yeah, 49 frames per second on average, 32, 1% lows. Pretty damn smooth and playable. Again, outside of this area, it's going to be even higher than that. And this is probably going to be a little bit too bad. So 2160p. Ultra, it's already at 29 there, and we are looking in that direction. Alright, so this is not really very doable anymore, I think. Maybe if you overclock this card to like 1450 megahertz or something like that, it would be possible to play like this with 30 plus almost all of the time. But, yeah, you know what? So far, we've only seen it dropping from 30 once, and by 1 FPS right at the start of it. It's not too bad. I noticed that frame time spike there for sure. I guess the vegetation was a bit too much for the 580 to handle there. Speaking of, let's see it again. Yeah, 25. Pretty bad. And if you look at the entire city from above, it's dropping into the high 20s. Actually, I expected worse, to be honest. But I still wouldn't recommend this experience, obviously. Like, yeah, it's rough, guys. Still good for screenshots, however, if you're just playing around, driving around, and you want to take some beautiful looking screenshots. The 4K resolution will deliver that, and the 580 at the ultra settings. Tunnel now. Oh, but yeah, it just becomes way too rough here. But anyways, most of the time, again, if you overclock the card and you lock the FPS to 30, maybe add some motion blur and play with the controller, it could be somewhat of a console-like experience. Honestly, I was expecting a bit worse, not gonna lie. So hey, the 580 still impressed us a little bit today. That's the Christmas miracle, I guess. Not really, it's not really a miracle, but hey, what's a miracle is this game's optimization. In 2021, this was probably the best optimized game this year. Have a great Christmas, everybody, and I'll catch you in the next one very soon, after tomorrow, because, yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, you know, be with the family and stuff. Oh, and then it's gonna be Sunday, so I'll have that Sunday video ready for you. Catch you guys then. Love you all. Bye-bye.